straight.
It's fucking straight enough for the video. Can we get going?
You've got to have some more patience. So you want me to talk about how I actually paint stuff today? Coffee good? You're doing that Troy McClure thing again. I wasn't. The series is about. What's it about?
Always.
Go on, Bev, you tell me. You can't keep doing. I can't remember more than a couple of sentences. It's flowing. So this is the Unseen Warrior series. See, forgotten. The series is about how whatever you see when you're watching sport, or in this instance ballet, is the tip of the iceberg. Oh, this is a calamity. Let's just rewind. The series is about. Stop interrupting me. The series is about the battles and the struggles that professional sportsmen and women have when they are preparing for the stage or the pitch or whatever it is. And what you see what the spectators see on this pitch, it's literally the tip of the iceberg. So when you see on the painting here that I've done, a lot of the ones I do, there's a lot of deconstruction in that, like they actually reach. I was on a good flow there. So I haven't added the detail in these points here because most athletes don't ever really fully see themselves as the complete article, and there's always more work to do, there's always more training to do, there's things you can change, things you can perfect. So the helmets are, I'm going to sit down now. I can't even see the painting bit there. I have to put that down this hard. A massive chest. So before I start with this bit between his legs, I need to explain the helmets. The helmets are the most detailed part of the painting because they represent the battles which all these sportsmen and women have, and it's ongoing, whether it's competition for places, whether it's on the pitch, whether it's preparation, whether it's with injuries, whether it's with, I don't know, mental side of preparing for sport. And that's why the most attention has been given to the helmets. It's the most important aspect of being an elite athlete. Cracking on with a bit of painting here. I need to get some more gold on this bad man. I'm going to drop a bit in between the legs here. Really, that's for all the lads. Palette knife's a good thing to use because you get a hell of a lot of texture with it. Quite good lines with it as well because it's got this nice sharp edge on it. So when I'm doing all these hard lines and stuff, it's easy to drag stuff down. What did you say? Ask me again. Use the raw canvas because it's more beautiful. I think it's more beautiful. I think that, especially for this series as well, this unfinished sort of look I'm going for, the raw canvas really complements that quite well. I used to use the white canvases, the treated canvases before, but I've just, over the last year, I've started to lean more towards the raw canvas. I just like the finish better, and also it takes the paint really, really well for what I want to do. Once you put the base layer down with acrylic and that's dried, and then you can go over top of it with the oil, everything the tightness of it is better, and I like it a lot more. I use the acrylic for the base because the raw side of the canvas is actually quite absorbent. So if I went straight on it with the oil paint, it would sink quite in, and I wouldn't be able to have to use 2 or 3 layers of oil paint. So the acrylic gives a really good base because it dries really quickly. I can get a lot of it. I can put the colour points down, so I know where I need to do. So you can see in certain parts here, that's acrylic there. But it's more of a guide of where I'm going to put the colour when I come to the oil painting. So the oil painting gives me the finish I want. Better to do the detail in oil because it's a richer colour. The oil stays wet on the brush, it doesn't absorb as quick as the acrylic does onto the canvas. I can spend longer, I can spend more time brush on canvas to do the detail and everything with the oils. But the acrylic's fantastic because it seals everything in, which provides a really good base. But this is all the stuff around the outside though now, moving on to the background and stuff. All of that's acrylic because there's different types of acrylic paint. There is just a normal acrylic paint, and then you have stuff like this stuff here, which has got high viscosity, which is thicker. So when you're doing the finishes and you want to use the palette knife, which I'm doing now, the texture's quite good. You can go a couple of layers on it, and you can make really nice texture and it's good for background. If there was no time scale on when I've got to complete the painting by, problem with using the oil with the palette knife is when you put that oil down with a palette knife, it's really thick and that takes an absolute age to dry. When you use the brush, I used the brush with the oil paint last night and it's touch dry now. I've used a bit of a palette knife here and it's wet as hell. Right, so next stage now, we need another big bold colour to go in the side. We're going to leave up here nice and raw. Probably going to bring in some spray paint on the bottom left down here. You're not going to use any of this. Just fucking playing with this gold paint like it's just, ooh, put it on the canvas head. Just tightening up a little bit of the detail on here, making some of these black lines, just hinting them with a little bit of white, and the bits where they would maybe be catching the light. Detail is something which has only really sort of come into my, what would you call it, painting armoury over the last year. It takes patience which I didn't think I had. And also I feel like it adds a bit more value to what I'm doing. So the reason why I put all the detail in the helmets is because the helmets represent all the hard work and the detail which is put into training and playing and performing, and also to put in all the time and the effort, because that represents the time and effort and the dedication that these athletes put in. You know what I do need is, it's called a marl stick. You put it up on the thing and you rest your hand against it like that. Said I'm holding my hand.
Are you done talking?
What else? Unless you want me to talk about anything else, you tell me.